Hello, my sweet friends. I am so delighted to be here with you. And I have a very special guest for today's episode. So, it is not a prerequisite, as I have shared, to have some sort of relationship with me in any capacity, because my joy comes from meeting new people and revisiting with people that I know very well. I have had the absolute pleasure and honor of naming this fabulous lady named Billie my soul sister from across the world. Literally. So, Billie, welcome. I'm so, so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm a bit nervous, so be patient.
You are totally okay. And it's like so weird because I feel like this is like us normal chatting, like our regular chat. But then I'm like, no, it's a little bit more formal, a lot more structured. Normally we're just like laughing about things, right? Reminiscing, talking about all the lovely life things. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm truly, truly grateful that you're here. So thank you for joining me. And today we're really just going to kind of dive into conversation. I'm going to have Billie introduce herself and just kind of share a little bit about the method to her madness. But I will say, just a shameless little plug for her. She is one of my favorite people. And I'm very grateful to Substack actually for connecting us. I believe it was back in March, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Validated, not going crazy. And I was posting a post about my lovely 3 doggies, and I thought it would be fun to have someone represent the kitties. And I was remembering Billie's super cute posts of her kitties, and so I reached out to her. It was like I guess is it a PM, a private message? I don't know, a DM, direct message, whatever it is behind the
Mm.
scenes, sent her a little message, and the rest is history.
We actually went crazy. Like we were so hyper.
It was so great. I kept you up till, like, oh goodness, wasn't it,
I
like,
remember.
4
Yeah, I had
AM your time? It was
3 minutes. I'm like, you hold on. I'm gonna get another one. Let's go.
and I am just so grateful because, the internet is such a funny place,
Yeah.
but it can be such a beautiful place, and truly, like, just Substack in general has been such a blessing for so many reasons, but
Mm.
developing these beautiful friendships and relationships has just been something I've so deeply treasured. So, yeah, Billie's my gal. So,
Aw.
without further ado, girl, share with us just a little bit about you, method to your madness, about your life, what you're up to, all those fun things.
Okay, so about me, I was a designer for 20
Mhm.
years. Basically, everything
Wow.
to do with like packaging, branding, user experience, went into
Wow.
product design. And then, yeah, when I was at the product design place, they were like,
Mhm.
hey, do you want to create this enclosure for a space telescope? I was like, yeah, why not? So that was like industrial design. Yeah, it's
What?
super fun. And then I went into pet microbiome business. So creating everything from the business to the
Yeah,
IT side of things, which is fun. And then
absolutely.
information. Yeah. And then eventually I was like, yeah, um,
Like,
I'm not
no.
sure if I'm like after 20 years,
Yeah.
basically everything is the same, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I want to continue this rat race and
Yeah,
dealing with people's egos and stuff like that.
absolutely.
So yeah, I was like, no, good. So I decided to focus on my dreams and like write a book.
Yeah.
Easy. So that's where
Woo!
and
And it
now
is
I'm writing
so
my
cute.
second book. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I've not heard about this, but this is delightful. Well, and funny enough, we kind of bonded because we both, in some ways, it's kind of bizarre, right? We both left our corporate careers after
Mm.
basically 20 years, and we both were kind of in tech somewhere, somehow, at some point. And the things that we exchanged, the stories we exchanged of all the people
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Too many parallels, too many
Yeah.
similarities. Even though you're
Mhm.
you're basically, I mean, I will say this, a lot of companies are global and have global footprints and have global teams, but still it's quite remarkable that we are literally, I mean, I'm based out of the right now out of the Phoenix, Arizona area. You are based out of Singapore. So we're basically on the other side of the world, but we're experiencing the same thing. It's just
Yeah. It is totally universal. Totally.
so bizarre. But okay, so tell me actually funny enough, I have it behind me. I'm like, "Wait," or at least I thought I had it behind me. Where was it? I knew I had it.
Mm.
I was like, I have it. It is behind me. So, okay, tell us about this little crystal gem right here.
Yeah, so I think it was 3 years ago.
Hmm.
It's just a seed that popped up in my head. I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, I wanted to get Lizzie
Mhm.
to start reading like choose your own adventure books. So I bought
Hmm.
like a few of them. And it's like
Yeah.
I think she was 5 years old. Yeah, and then
Oh.
they have those board books kind of thing. And she's like,
Yep.
I don't like it. I was like, how can you not like it? It's like my favorite thing. Yeah. And then when she became like 6 years old, I tried it again.
Yeah.
So I tried it again, and
Oh.
I was like, no, you have to like this. So you know what? I'm just going to create one for you. So it just started.
Yeah.
So it started off with like a
Oh.
choose your own adventure book, but because I'm a
Yep.
gamer, I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
it's a game, interactive story. So I started to weave in more components to it. And
Yep.
because my entire life, I mean, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. So,
Yeah.
and I, two broken marriages and stuff like that. So I learned a lot along the
Oh.
way. So there's like
Absolutely.
resilience and stuff like that. So I wanted to weave
Yeah.
those lessons in also. So over time, it just
Oh.
like layered up into like a very book of like gold nuggets or something like that, but still whimsical.
Oh.
Something that Lizzie will be like open to read, and
Yep.
everything is like really abstract, right? So like
Yeah.
light and dark. The concepts I drew it really abstractly, and then when I read to
Oh.
her, I'll like explain it to her. So yeah,
It
that's
is
how it.
it is so cool though that you were able to do that. Not only to share your wisdom with kids, but also to share it with your daughter.
Yeah.
Like, that's so special.
She's so excited about it because I modeled the protagonist after her. So she has bangs, she loves pink and
Oh.
everything. And then she's like,
Oh.
oh, am I flying over these mountains? I was like, yeah, you are. So every
There
time
you
I
go.
finish the drawing, yeah, every time I finish the drawing, I'll be like, look, this is another chapter. It's a totally different world. She's like, what am I doing
Oh.
here? I'm like, you're just walking amongst like macarons and donuts. She's like, that's so pretty. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I love this. It makes me so happy. And seriously, just shameless plug. I have not had the opportunity yet to read through the book, but I have thumbed through it multiple times and it is so beautiful. Like,
Yay.
can I just can we just
Maybe that's
yes.
just me because I love horror. And because
No,
there's a magical book, so I'm like, yeah, we must have some horror in
it is so beautiful. And seriously, the illustrations are so cute. If you don't
there.
see that, like so, so cute. It is just, it is such a precious book. So I would absolutely encourage you. And obviously, link will be in the show notes for those of you that would like to pick it up because it's great.
Oh, another
So,
thing about the drawing, that was my
yeah,
first time illustrating. So as
really?
so I'm 20 years designer, but you think
Yeah.
that I know how to draw, right? No,
No.
that's like my bane because I'm a perfectionist. There's no
Yeah.
way I can draw because every line I'm like, no, that's not perfect. I have to erase it. So eventually I just like
Oh,
stop it. But I
yeah.
really wanted to illustrate it by myself because I wanted to own this entire book. So I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you have to. So I picked up like Procreate. I'm like, okay, I
Oh
don't know how
my
to draw. What
gosh.
do I do? So I went to Pinterest. I took like, okay, she should be in this figure, like this
Yeah.
position. Then I just lay it over images, and then I'll sketch it over a few times. Then I'll paint over it. It was
Holy
so
cow.
painful at the start because it's like
Wow.
I was there was so much friction in me. So I was
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
learning myself about myself along the way. I'm like, why am I feeling
Oh.
like literally it
Oh.
should be an easy thing to do, you know? So
No,
this book
that
is
is not
entirely
easy.
designed for
Can I just say that
me.
is not easy and that is like commendable that here you are teaching yourself how to illustrate and even digitally. I mean, of course, Yay for digital tools. Yay for layers. All those fun things. But still, like that's not an easy thing to do. So you should be very proud of yourself. It is
I am.
amazing. And I love it. So
Thank
yay on
you.
that. Okay. Do you want to do shameless plug on, you said a second book? Give us a teaser. What is it about? Is it like the next
Oh,
level, or tell us?
it's called The Little Strategist. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm I'm still thinking about the name, but it's
yeah.
like like game strategy walkthrough guides. Yeah, still
Yes.
gamer, right? Gamer. But at the same time,
Yes.
because it's like a choose your own adventure still, but I want
Yeah.
to teach them all the different things. Because recently I've been
Oh,
teaching Lizzie about financial literacy. So I'm like,
that's
yeah,
so
children needs
awesome.
to know this because I didn't grow up knowing
Yep.
what to do with my money and stuff, right? So I'm
Yep.
like, yeah, let's do it. Let's make it really fun. So there'll be
Oh,
different routes. So for example, the first tree, maybe
yeah.
she has 3 coins. What does she do with it? She can like spend it
Ooh.
or save it or give it away, right? And then that's the first layer. The second layer
Yeah.
of, for example, saving it. You can go like,
Yeah.
do you want to invest in it? Or do you want to put it in a piggy bank or want to put it in a bank? You know,
Oh,
the kind of thing. Yeah. And
yeah.
giving away
Yeah.
would be like, oh, do you want to just give it away to someone you love or like just with no heart? So eventually all the
Oh.
end result, I will let them know how they might feel. So literally it's like a walkthrough. It's like I
Oh.
lay out all the different routes for you, and then you see how you might feel at
Like
the end
where
of it. So in
and where
real
it could
life, you might
go.
want to take, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
so this series will have like body consent, boundaries, like I have
wow.
the entire series out. Just need to spend time to
You
work on it.
No, but you are amazing. Like, truly, it's so inspiring that you're not only taking things that you've learned and things that you value as an adult, yay adulting, but then taking those things and creating them into stories and situations that empower kids and
Mm,
that conversation too. I mean, you're also empowering parents to have those conversations with their kids.
yeah.
Like,
I
it's
mean, I feel like
amazing.
because I have a daughter, it's just
Yeah.
I just need to let her know about like, body consent. It's really important. Yeah.
Yes, it is very
Mm.
important. No, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. We'll definitely be looking out for that. But today we are going to walk through the 3 keys. So these lovely questions that I ask every single guest. And I am so excited because, Billie, I know a little bit about your life story. So I know that you have navigated some unreal things. But as we walk through these questions, obviously invite you to share anything that you would like. But
Mm.
I would love to know, would you like us to hop into the first question?
Yes, please.
Yay. All right. So, first question is the seed of transformation. So, for
Mm.
you, Billie, what is the single most transformative experience you have navigated on your life journey thus far? And how did it fundamentally shift your perspective or your path?
Okay, so there were many seats, right? But I
Okay.
think the most transformative was last November when I quit my job. So I literally
Yes.
was on my Europe trip. I was in Prague. I
Oh
was
my
listening
gosh.
to the Untethered Soul.
No, you were not. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then like I was having an argument with my ex-boss and everything. And then he was like
Yeah.
messaging me, making me wake up at 6 a.m. to go to come on calls and stuff. Yeah. It was
What?
really bad. And
Wow.
I was like, yeah, this is not working out. So I
You're
sent
like,
him.
uh-uh. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I woke up at 5 a.m. I wrote out my resignation letter. I was in
No, you
Prague.
did
I
not.
did
In
and then
Prague.
I just like sent it to him. And I texted him like, hey, I just sent you my resignation letter. He's like, I want to talk to you. I was like, yeah,
Oh
let's
my
talk later.
gosh.
Let's talk later.
You're like you're like, I'm on vacation. Like
Yeah.
obviously did not I'm assuming didn't care, didn't phase you, like wasn't it's like, nope, it's fine. You can still work while you're on vacation or you're somewhere
Yeah.
else. Or what
Yeah,
was the
he,
deal
he
with
still
that?
didn't pay us. Eventually, he just ran away. He shut down
Oh,
the company. He didn't pay us for like
What?
the 3 months and everything. Yeah.
Oh
So
my
a lot of them are
gosh.
still suing him right now.
Oh, sometimes oh, man, I won't even go there because that's like a whole other
Yeah.
topic for me. Just knowing the corporate
Yeah.
world and the nonsense and shenanigans, right? Like a whole we'll do that another day. But share with me, I mean, that is a pretty serious life decision. And I think for most
Mm,
people to think about quitting your career and especially, not something you've been doing for just, I don't know, couple of years, let's say, or a handful of weeks or something. I mean, this is 20 plus years.
yeah.
How did you come to that decision and know that that was right at that moment, like, at that exact moment in Prague, nonetheless?
Okay, maybe I'll go back to all the way at the start of my career, right?
Yes,
Um, I graduated from software engineering, which is totally not design, because I
I
thought
love it.
I'll be as cool as Angelina Jolie in the hackers, right? I'm like, yeah, this cool hacker. No, I'm not. It is not as glamorous as it at all.
No,
So
lies,
right
all lies.
yeah. So right after I graduated, I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah,
So I was like, yeah, let's just go into design. By the
yep,
time I was already having like, I already love design, so I already have a portfolio doing all the things
got it.
that I love. So I took
Yeah,
that and I landed a job in a boutique agency. So over
cool.
there, I picked up everything like web, print, and at that point
Yeah,
of time, it was like CSS and HTML was big at the time, right? So
yep,
I learned everything there for like 4 years, and then I started
wow,
pivot.
okay,
So I pivoted to interactive design. So it's like Macromedia Flash, and then I
wow,
still like coding because I still feel kind of
yeah.
hackerish when I'm coding.
Why not?
Yeah, why not, right? So then I was like, hey, I'll totally develop this as well. And then
Yeah,
my ex, yeah, let's do it. And then
yeah,
eventually, apparently I was so good at it, and they refused to let me go back to design. I was like, no, I still want to design.
oh,
It's still my heart, man. And he's like,
right?
yeah, my designers here. I was like, okay. So
Oh,
well, I'm like, but I still want to do the packaging and the branding. It's like, yeah, we have too
yeah,
many time. So I moved on to
oh my
advertising. It
gosh.
was like extremely cutthroat. Like we'll
Oh,
work
yeah.
until like 4 a.m. and next day we start at like 10. And then it's extremely stressful.
What?
Yeah, come up with like 10 ideas every morning before we reach,
Oh
I
my
lasted
goodness.
2 years there. A lot of people left after like 6 months. Yeah, it was
I
a small
I
advertising.
believe it. My
Yeah.
gosh.
So then from there, I was like, yeah, okay, let's try digital marketing because I miss digital stuff again. So I
Yep.
went to another marketing advertising agency and
Okay.
then lasted for another 3 years. That's when I
Wow.
started learning UX. I started to work with the UX team, the user experience.
Oh. Yep,
So I was
yep.
like, "Oh, this is interesting. I like the workshops and everything. It's
Right?
fun." So then
Yeah.
after I tried visual design, which is a branch in user experience. It's like,
Yep.
yeah, okay, but I want to do more UX, more brain work. So then I went to another place and like, yeah, product designer. But the thing is, I was
Okay.
the only designer in the entire tech startup, right? It's a laser
Oh my.
communication company, super cool. These people
Yeah.
are so driven, and I'm the only designer,
Oh.
which is fun. It is fun. I was like, I call
Yeah.
it shots. I, but I also get to do everything, which is great. I do like the branding
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can see this entire experience, and then I
Yep.
can map it out for you, and then I can
Yep.
design it. It's super fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're like doing it all. Like you got all the segments, all the channels.
Had microbiome stuff. But then like
Yep.
after all these, so when I was going before I actually wanted to write the resignation letter, I was thinking back,
Yeah.
okay, so I've tried so many things already. Basically it's
Yeah.
most of the design arms that I can ever try. And then
Yeah.
but the same thing that occurs every time is the people, right? And
Hmm. Very
I
much so.
I made very, very good friends in most of
Hmm.
at most of my ex workplaces. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure you want to go through that again. It's like,
You're like, been there
yeah,
once, done that.
yeah. It's like there are some days I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like I want to
Yeah.
do the work. I don't want to deal with like egos and stuff,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I was like, yeah, it was extremely reckless. I felt extremely
Gosh.
reckless because I'm a single
Yeah.
mom, right?
Yeah.
And I have no help from family and stuff. So it's all me. But I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, and then I started listening audiobook, listening to
Yeah.
the Untethered Soul, and
Yep.
I don't know, something just clicked inside. So
Yep.
I was like,
Yep.
yeah, maybe I should just try to
Yeah.
quit this and see where it takes me, because human design,
Absolutely.
I'm a manifesting generator, and then I've been
Yes.
thinking back, and whenever I have no friction against life, life
Yeah.
just pans out. Like my second
Mm,
last job, I actually didn't
yeah.
even want to go for the interview. I was like, yeah, this sounds boring. And then something is like, just go for it. Like, what can
Yeah.
you lose? So I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't even prepare for that interview. And then I fell in love with my ex-boss, which we are still good friends
Oh.
right now, like to this day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was my dream job. I was like, I never
Oh.
expected to land a dream job. And then
Yeah.
my last two jobs were dream jobs. But shit
Wow.
happens, like financial issues. They have financial issues,
Yeah.
so they have to lay off. And then the last
Yeah.
one, the guy also had financial issues, but he did it in a not so
Gosh.
nice way. Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's so
so
unfortunate.
yeah. Mm,
Well, I mean, it's never an easy decision
mm,
to decide to leave your job slash career slash slash, right? All those things. But let's
mm.
say someone who's listening right now, what would you share with them as far as something that was like your key takeaway or, learning, if you will, from that experience? Like, what enabled you or empowered you to know that that was it? Like, is there something that you can kind of pinpoint that might help someone who's maybe considering piecing out?
To quit.
Yes.
Um, okay, but first, if they
Yeah.
don't have enough money reserved, they have to think
Yes.
twice. Okay, let,
I,
let's put the practical stuff on the table. Because I had months of reserves,
really?
so I'll be like, yeah,
Yes.
okay, still gotta make this money work, but yeah, I'm still comfortable to quit. But if I
Sure.
didn't have any reserve, I
Yeah.
yeah, there's no choice, right? That's life. So
Yeah.
I guess we have to weigh between like what life throws at us, and what
Yeah.
how we can find solutions for us to navigate
Sure.
this and still find true happiness. So for me,
Yes.
right, happiness definitely is always number one for me. Money,
Mm,
I don't need a lot.
yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I've been talking to some of my friends who
Yeah.
always have like, what? Why are you quitting? Like, do you have enough for retirement? I'm like, how much do you need for retirement? He's like, at least like 10, $15 million. I'm like, wait, are you sure you need that?
What?
Yeah, then he's like, yeah, inflation. And then like, so I realized that the number is exorbitant because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't feel safe, right? But for
Yes.
me,
Yeah.
over time, I used to be like that, but over time,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna choose happiness and see how it goes, man. He's like, yeah, you're so reckless. I'm like, yeah, but it's
Oh,
like 10 months, so let's see how it goes. And
and
usually, I don't know, for
absolutely.
me, usually it
Yeah.
just like it opens new doors. So whenever I close
Yeah.
doors, it just
Yeah.
opens new ones that I never expected.
Yes.
It's scary
And
though. It's very scary. The uncertainty is it made me
absolutely.
depressed multiple times.
Oh. And
Yeah.
it's rough. Like it's interesting because I have a sort of similar experience, but then got to a point where money ran out.
Yeah. So then
And
life came in and like you're like, nah, I need food on the table first before I can think of happiness. So then we gotta do that.
well, and I will say this. I will say this. I think I have learned that for me, because I tried to take a really safe risk in when I left and having at least some savings there was just unexpected things that came up that I'm like, really? This is happening? Of course, the moment I quit, of course.
Yeah. It rains
But
on you.
literally, but I think genuinely, I think the old saying that there's never a perfect time is kind of true. Because even if you wait forever to build up $15 million in retirement to get to a point like it you the ship might have sailed. It might be
Mhm.
just not at a point where you can leverage it. And it's really about connecting with yourself, like,
Mm.
and deeply understanding what's important for you in your experience. But also for me, like learning who you're connected to and with, because a lot of it is faith. And if there's one thing I know about you, Billy, you have an incredible amount of just fearless faith of like listening to your intuition and taking a risk because it's always a risk,
It's not
even if it's
fearless
safe.
though. I'm like
Ah,
so scared.
I think it's fearless because the thing I respect and appreciate about you most is because you really listen to what's coming to you and feeling kind of in your heart and that connection, I think a lot of us either don't, when you don't tend to something, you kind of lose it or it becomes a little disconnected or a little fuzzy. But when I speak with you, it's just amazing because when you feel that and you hear it, you're going like it is happening. And I think that for me is something that you've taught me and that if somebody's in this case where they're like, "Oh my gosh, what do I do? I'm so upset. This is hurting my health. This is impacting my life." Start connecting to your deeper inner knowing and allow it to guide you or at least provide you some pings on
Yeah,
where not to go and where to go. I don't know. But
yeah.
shameless plug for you because truly you have a fearlessness that I very much respect because it's
Oh,
not
thank you.
easy to be like that. Like,
Mm,
but it takes belief in oneself and faith. So
yeah,
for what it's worth, it's never an easy decision. Oh, work.
yeah, definitely. I think
You're like,
also
yeah.
another thing that helped was because
Yeah.
I also Marie Kondoed a lot of my friends. So I'm mostly isolated and
Oh my gosh.
it helps because you
Yeah.
don't get the external noise.
Yes.
Because like sometimes I'll speak to my friends and something's so clear, the solution is right there. But
Yes.
and they know that that's the solution, but they don't take it because like they have the other friends and their family telling them, oh, it's so dangerous, don't do it. So
Right.
if I were them, it would be very difficult to make my decisions too. So I think that's
Yeah.
also a factor.
No, and thank you so much for sharing that because I think
Mhm.
that's a huge point. Who
Yeah.
you surround yourself with, what they're
Mm,
encouraging, and keeping in mind that most of us, because we're human, when we speak or give advice, it's based on our experience and what we have experienced. But it also can be very much driven by fear or our fears or what we value. Because maybe for me, I value something that you're like, I could live without that. Like, it's fine. But for me, I'm like, no, no, you don't understand. If I don't have this,
yeah.
like, but being able to discern that, and this is probably why I recognize that faith and that fearlessness in you, because you will listen to yourself. If there's one person you will listen to, you will. Even if you got to battle it out a little bit, duke it out with her a little bit. It happens to all of us. But you have such a beautiful way of listening to yourself. And that is your true north. Like nobody else can tell you where you should be or what you should do. Like,
Yeah.
then give you their
And
perspective.
ultimately it's your life.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. It is.
But some people are really, really chained to like their family. They really care about
Yes.
which is good, right? But at the same time,
Yeah.
these people have their own lives, and then they project their own shit on you. So then,
Right.
what's the truth?
And then you're like, and when you lose that perspective, I think
Yeah.
that's also really key. So thank you
Mm.
so much for illuminating that for us, but also kind of anchoring in that because it's really, I'm telling you, you do an incredible job just grabbing onto what you want and what you need and making it happen. And I think we all need a little of that, even if we're not manifesting generators.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. All right.
Mm.
So, Billy, how do you feel about diving into question 2? Are you ready,
Let's
my dear?
go.
Okay. Woohoo. All right. So, question 2 is the guiding light. So, beyond personal achievement, what is the greatest gem of wisdom you have unearthed, and who or what was the significant catalyst in teaching you this profound lesson?
Uh, yeah, same thing. During when I quit in November in Prague.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, so my greatest gem of wisdom would be like I think life is just it presently, right? There's no
Yes.
retirement or whatever. This is it.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
my takeaway. And
Yeah.
it was only because after I
Mhm.
resigned in November, uh, yeah, so breath of fresh air, I was like, yes. And then straight away the next day, I'm like, oh no, what do I do about money and everything, right? But
Oh.
it's so strange because the
Mhm.
week before I went on my Europe trip, I met up
Mhm.
with my ex-colleagues, and one
Mhm.
of them just introduced this trading instrument to me. He's like, "Oh, check out this
Mm.
stock," and then I didn't think much of it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, let's just drink first, you know." And then when I was there, I was
Mm.
like, "Yeah, what is that? What is he saying?" So I started to
Yeah.
research on it. I was like, seems interesting." And then
Yeah.
yeah, I did a very extremely reckless thing
Oh.
that everyone would think that's reckless. Basically, I
Yeah.
divested like half of my entire investment portfolio
Okay.
into this single one stock. I just
Ooh.
like dumped it in, right?
But I'm
Yeah,
assuming going off some sort of intuitive feeling or like logical, I don't know,
yeah.
something.
I did a lot of research, and then
Okay.
like yeah, it seems like it's gonna pay me pretty good money every month rather than
Mhm.
putting it here, right?
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
was like, yeah, I just try it. So actually, I was in Japan. So
Mhm.
after I came back from Europe, I
Okay.
brought Lizzie to Japan like the week after.
Oh,
Yeah,
fun.
I was like just bawling, like, just go, just live life. And
Making
then
it happen.
another another nagging feeling is like, the money. I'm like, shut up, let's just go and live life. And yeah. So
Oh my
I
gosh.
was in Japan, and then she
Yeah.
was eating, and then I was just on the phone. I'm like, okay, let's just do it. So I just dumped everything. And
Yeah.
payout for that particular stock was the day
Yeah.
after, and I got paid equivalent to my salary if I were working. So
Oh my
I'm like,
god.
could it be this easy? I don't know. Like, could
You're
it
like, "Wait a
be?
second."
I was like, this is, but there's this fear in me, like, what if it,
Yeah.
something happens to
Yeah.
it? And then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then another voice would be like, what can you do now? What's your best
Mm.
solution moving
Mhm.
forward? And
Mhm.
the market right now is so difficult. Like, it's so difficult
Yeah.
to get a job anyway. And do you really want another
Yeah.
job? I was like, I don't want
Right. You're
another
like, "No,
job.
I'm good."
Yeah. So after I got the payout, I was like, let's
Yeah.
just divest it, right? So I
Yeah.
divested the remaining 50% into that. And then
Yeah.
even when the market got hit by Trump, I
Yeah.
still got paid like enough to pay my bills and stuff like that, and with a little
Wow.
extra for Lizzie and everything. So to
Yeah.
me, I think it's because I don't need too much money.
Yeah.
To me, happiness is I have a house, I can provide for
Yep.
Lizzie, we can go out and have fun, we can go for our
Yep.
Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, and it makes us so happy. So I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
and I'm not, and I feel like, okay, am I making us unhappy because of the money thing? But like, no, we're actually
Mm.
living our best lives with
Hmm.
little, and
Mhm.
that's what I'm trying
Mhm.
to teach her as well.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, and I love that because here's the thing I have learned about life, and I'm sure you can probably echo this. Even if you choose the safe decision, there still can be things that go wrong. So there's really
Mm,
no 100% perfect error-free option ever. Because even
yeah.
if, right, you had stayed there, or even if, like, obviously, yay for cha-ching, right? This nice little dump into your bank account, but you took a risk based on what you felt was the right thing and what you had
Yeah.
researched and you felt confidence, but you trusted in yourself. And
Yeah.
we often I mean, often I feel like we get into analysis paralysis of like, what do I do? What does this mean? What is this? You're right. And you took a risk that I don't know, you did the best that you had when you had it, right? As it's unfolding, you're trying to make the best decision you can, but you took a risk on yourself. And to me,
Mm.
that's my favorite part because a lot of us assess risk when it comes to finances or assess risk in, what we're going to get back or what we're going to do or what have you. But taking a risk on yourself, sometimes we put that in the back seat. We're like, oh, I'll just deal with it. I'll deal with the crazy boss or I'll deal with whatever it is.
Mm,
But then what is your life experience? Like,
exactly. So
you know?
it didn't dawn on me, like right
Yeah.
now what you're saying, like, where's the life experience, right? It didn't hit
Yeah.
me as hard
Mm.
until I left my job. and
Yeah.
got this investment thing going
Yeah.
because what it did for me, it took away
Yeah.
my stress of money, which means that I do not need a 9 to 5
Mm,
to get money,
yeah.
which means that I free up my life to be able to do what I
Yeah.
want. So
Yeah.
technically speaking, I am
Yeah.
retired, right? But even when I'm
I
retired,
love it.
I
Yes.
yeah, even when I'm retired, I will still want to do things. I still want to write a book. I still
Yeah.
people and stuff like that. So that's just me. Like for
Absolutely.
me, retirement is not just gardening and doing Sudoku.
Right.
Not
No,
really.
but no, absolutely. Well, but isn't it true? And this is something I thought about this the other day. Isn't it true that when you think about, your corporate job and you're doing all these things and you're so overloaded and you have all these responsibilities and all these expectations, right? And all this stuff. And then you're like, well, if I just didn't have this, my life would be just so easy
Yes.
and peaceful. And then suddenly you shift and then it like fills back up with stuff. This is going
Yeah.
on. You're doing, and you're like, what is, so I feel like it's the
There's a
same on both
lie.
sides of the fence, right? Like,
Yes.
like I thought
Yes.
this was going to be easier. And then you're like, no, no,
No, it's not. It's like the same shit,
no.
man. It's the same
It's like,
shit.
just different day, just different culprits. It goes back to the whole the grass is greener, right? On the other side.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's not greener on the other side. It's
No.
greener where you water it.
Yeah.
And that could be anywhere. It could be here, it could be over on the other side of the fence or the other side of the fence or the other side of the world. It doesn't matter. But it's
Mm.
so funny that you're like, I'm
That's
technically retired, but I don't. You're like, no, no, I'm good. I still want to do things, right? Still want to do projects. But I think it's really good context to share because I think most people feel like that and believe
yeah.
that, well, if I just didn't have this job, it's like, no, if you get a different job or you do a different job or you have a different career or you choose something different for yourself, it'll still fill back up. You'll still have
Yeah.
obligations and responsibilities and things like
It's so strange. Like
like
literally, I can do anything I want. And
which is
yeah,
awesome.
there are highs, but it's
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
Dissipates as fast as when you have a job, and then you have your
Yes.
achievements, you get your next role. But it's
Yep.
like it's the same thing.
Right?
So my takeaway was, I think
Yeah.
this is it. So if
Yep.
this is it, do you really want to slog for that boss? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I'm not asking people to quit their jobs because that's extremely
Nope.
reckless, right? But
Well,
get your finances sorted,
yeah. Yeah.
then really focus on what you really want. Because I think really this is it.
Yeah. Well,
The
and
present is it.
absolutely. And I'll say shameless plug for follow your heart. Like do
Mm,
what's right for you.
yeah.
And even if somebody else thinks it's crazy, that's okay. They can think it's crazy.
Yeah.
Seek to understand, hear them out. Why are they saying it's crazy? But at the end of the day, center with yourself, with your creator, the universe, God, whomever, right? Insert
Mm,
whomever here and make that decision from your heart and not from
yeah.
fear or not from reaction because there's always something you're not going to like. There's always something that's going to be crazy. There's
Mm,
always going to be something that's, not ideal. But at the end of the day, if you really focus on you, you can't go wrong. Even if you make a mistake, it's okay. Life is
yeah.
about life's about remembering the things that matter. No.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, but also
Uh,
I want to add on something.
yeah,
Like
of course.
I think people are scared of taking the lead. It's also because of the
Yeah.
conditioning from their parents, from social settings and stuff like
Yes.
how we were brought up to think, right? But now
Absolutely.
that technology is insane, we're so lucky to be in this era. There's so many
Yes.
ways to get money without
Yes.
slogging. You know what I mean? Like there's so many
Yes.
ways. We are
There
really
really
lucky.
are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, and that's a great call in because we shouldn't really be in any capacity. We shouldn't be we're not machines. So if you
Mm,
feel like you're being disrespected as a machine, right? Like, hey, you need to be here from 8 a.m. in the morning until 8 a.m. in the morning. And you need to work through all your lunches and your vacations, and you need to be paid nothing. And like all these things that you deserve balance. You deserve, as I call it, harmony. Whatever harmony looks like for you. If it's
mm.
better pay and less hours, or if it's better pay and more hours, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. Maybe some
Right?
people just like to work.
Absolutely, and they feel good,
And
and
then it's
they,
fine.
they're doing their thing and they're getting their energy out, or and you can also have seasons. I'm sure you can probably attest to this. Any
Yes.
point in your career, sometimes you're working more, sometimes you're working less, sometimes you're getting paid more, sometimes you're getting paid less, sometimes you have a better boss or maybe a not so better boss. But
Mm,
everything in your life is also reminding you of who you are. You
yeah.
just have to take a moment to allow that reflection and like look in the mirror,
Yes.
say, "Hey, you, what are you trying to tell me right now?" Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, Billy. So, are you ready for our last question?
Yes.
Woohoo! All right. So, last question is the soul's awakening. Describe for us a moment or period in your life where you experienced a profound spiritual or intuitive awakening. What did you notice? How did it begin to unfold? And what helped you open your eyes to this deeper connection?
I think again, it's really like Michael Singer.
Shameless plug for Michael Singer. You're
Yeah, The
amazing,
Untethered Soul. Please read it.
right?
Oh my
Please.
God, like I've been reading so many self-help books and spiritual
Hmm.
books, right?
Hmm.
None of them hit as hard as this one. Like it
Amen.
hits home, you know? And yeah, so I was like walking
Literally.
through the beautiful streets of Prague, and then I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, I was like nodding, like, yeah. And people are like, what the hell is wrong with this girl? Like, yeah, yeah.
Who is
And then
this
after that,
girl?
I started to download more of his books and started listening and
Right?
going along. Yeah,
Yep.
it
He's
it was
amazing.
like I'm like it. I don't know. It's just really life changing
Yes,
to me.
absolutely.
Yeah. Mm.
He's he is so I think it's just the way he like articulates his,
Yeah. Like that voice in your head is not
oh yeah.
you. I'm like, is it
Yeah.
not? And then I'll be on the bus, taking a bus on in
Yep.
Prague, and I'm like, and then I get the voice pop up so many times, right? And I'm like,
Yep.
who are you?
No.
Not me. Wait, who's saying you're not me? Is it me? I was like,
Like
oh, this
who
is
is
so
this?
cool. This is so
Right?
cool. And this is really mindless chatter, isn't it?
Yes. Right? And then you're like, okay, suddenly everything's making sense. It's
Yeah.
like
And
suddenly there's clarity.
so it's interesting because of this book, which
Yeah.
is why I
Yeah.
decided to really delve into human design. Because I'm like,
Mm,
okay, if this voice is not guiding me to do whatever in my life, then
right.
what should it be? And I know like I'm a
Mm,
manifesting generator, I'm supposed to listen to my sacral. I don't know where
mhm.
my sacral is to be honest, but I know it's around this area.
You're like
But
down here.
I'm here because whenever
It's
I feel something strongly, it's around this like really warm here and stuff like that,
right.
right? And then I kind of compare it. Some of the girl, I compare it to like my past data that
Yeah.
when I listen to this feeling, things
Yeah.
went right, which is most of the time. And whenever I
Yeah.
fight this feeling, things just went down. Like
Yeah.
I had a very bad feeling about my first husband, but I still went ahead because I thought I
Mm.
was favor. I'm like, no, I can change you
Oh.
to a better person.
Oh.
And I'm
Yes.
really fighting the sacral, and then
Yeah.
it led 8 years of like heartbreak and stuff like that. So
Oh.
to me, all these are. I mean, if I had a choice, had a choice to go back and decide whether I
Yeah.
want to go through all the adversities, I would still, because then you wouldn't know
Mm.
what you don't know, right? Even if it's
Amen.
painful, I think it's good, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and well, and I think I don't know, you tell me because it's funny. I had bought the Untethered Soul book back in 2021 and it was sitting on my shelf. And I remember this was one of the first things that you and I talked about, which you had recommended, like, you got to read this book. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, this book has been on my shelf collecting dust. Like what? And I dove right in, but I think I can echo your sentiments completely. And I think also too, just being able to detach yourself and understand that you are not this voice or other voices. So whether it be your ego or your super ego or the lovely id, right, telling you that you're cold or something's going on with your body, but instead it's like a how I describe it, and I've come up with this lovely metaphor, but it's like your car instrument cluster. So the cluster is the thing that has the dials on it and has the little lights on it. So you are not your car. You have a car. So you
Yeah.
you have an ego, you have an id, you have a super ego, right? You have these personalities that hang out with you. But when they're indicating certain things to you, it's important. But it's an indicator. It's not a definer. So just
Mm,
because, your check engine light comes on in your car doesn't mean that you're a bad car owner, right? And suddenly you don't take care of your car. It's like, no, it's coming on to let you know there's an issue or there's a challenge.
yeah.
Now, I will tell you this from my past life when I used to own an automotive repair shop. I would literally meet customers who were like, "Oh yeah, the check engine light came on, so I just got into the instrument cluster and removed the light bulb so that I
Mm.
didn't have to see it." I'm like, "But the light's
That's
still on."
dangerous.
Honestly, I'm like, "Okay." So, but funny enough, that situation reminds me of this
Yeah.
because when we hear it and we hear it, we it's like it becomes distorted. Then suddenly we're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's me." Well,
Yeah.
I'm angry because this happened. It's like, no, you could be feeling anger because this stimulus happened in front of you. Yes. And then your ego is kind of teed off because your ego doesn't want to be talked to like that. But
Yeah.
being able to like like kind of like decouple yourself from that
Mm.
is so empowering
Yeah.
and allows you to realize that yes, these indicators are important. You need to get these messages, but again, it doesn't define you. It doesn't mean you are that voice in your head. But
Yeah.
for you, like, what do you feel like it really changed? Like, what was that kind of like lifting of the veil? Oh, you see it.
Be- Because I have a lot of negative thoughts, negative
Mm,
thoughts in my head. So
yeah,
reading this book, right? I'm like,
yeah,
okay. So I kind of treated this voice as
yeah,
its own character, and then I could
yes,
see it. I could visualize this character as a kind of
yep.
like a negative Nancy, right? I'm like, why you on me, bro? Like, oh, you know? Yeah, so it's easier if I
You're
personify
so
this voice as a
right.
person, and it's so
Yes.
much easier to deal with now. So like whatever negative thought that I have, I'm like, dude, just
Yep.
shut up.
You're
To
like,
take shit
not
from
now,
you.
right? Like, I'm not listening to you. No,
Like,
but
yeah, no.
it's like, but it puts it in perspective. I don't know. I'll kind of share from my experience. So just being able to see, as you said, it's kind of like a character, like this being, this facet, this, and if you can dress them up and put a little clothes on them and
Yeah.
it makes it a little bit more palatable. But being able to see and understand them also for who they are, because they're also
Mhm.
coming up with these negative words or not so nice things or, whatever it may be for a reason. And
Mm.
often it's surfacing, repressed pain or things that we were trying to ignore and not deal with. And instead it's our opportunity to also meet them at the table and say, like, I understand negative Nancy. Right? I understand you are so upset, but like, what is going on? Like, tell me more. Like, why is this upsetting? And then suddenly you start to ask the why, like ask why 5 times and get to the root cause sort of thing of like, okay, but why? Or when? When did this happen? Or when did this first happen that we're now getting into this pattern? Like it starts
This
to
is
help you get right
this is the
inquisitive.
interviewer you. This is the interviewer
Yeah.
you, which is good. But I'll probably not do that. I'm like, oh man, don't cloud my judgment.
Like, get out of here. No one wants your opinion. Out of here, man. No, but it's like I think the first step, and it's funny, I'm trying to think of like when I first heard this, but like be the observer and you're like, "What? Wait, what did you just say?" Yeah, be the observer. You're like, observing of what? Like
Yes.
what does that even mean? But then
Yeah.
suddenly this starts to open the door. And,
Mm.
again, shameless plug. If you're looking for a book to read, if you or listen to or experience, this book is incredible. Like
Yes.
it's got and I love how like clean and succinct he is also with his words. So it's not like
Mm.
a 900-page book that it's going to take you forever to get through. It's like very clear and succinct.
Mm.
But even some of his metaphors, like I don't know if you can relate to this, but when he's talking about building this house on this beautiful hill that has this perfect sun and it's like and then slowly you start like building this house, and then now you want all these curtains and then all these things, and then you start like
Clutter.
basically right and like barricading
Mhm.
yourself in this beautiful
Mm.
house. And the whole reason you started was because it's this beautiful plot of land that has probably this beautiful view and the sun shining on it. And now you don't even see the sun anymore because you've closed yourself in. Man, I realized for me that was actually a lot of what I was trying to protect myself when I was in the corporate world of what I would spend money on. Because it's interesting when you
Mhm.
start to like get into like, why did I buy that? You're like this is cute. My
Aw,
my hu-
Animal
it
Crossing.
is. Uh my husband bought this for me, and
Yeah.
I
Is this
absolutely
NFC
like
thing? Like you can.
you know, it's not. Unfortunately, it's just a cute little like
Okay.
just a cute
So
little
why did you
figurine,
buy it?
right? Well, you're like, let's dive into this. Lavender, tell me more.
Let's
Uh
unpack this.
You're like, hang on a second. No, but right. So my husband bought it for me. He bought it because he knows I love Animal Crossing. That it gives me this experience, right? So you start like getting into like, okay, this is great. This is kind of like a little memory thing. But and I don't have anything like on my desk that I can grab that I can talk about. But I'm like, why do I need all these outfits? Like, why do I need 10 of the same shirt? Or like, why do I need all these suits? Or it's like, yes, well, I wear suits for work. It's like, okay, fair, sure. But do you need 10? It's like, well, I
Yeah.
gotta have variety. And then it's like, oh, we've touched something. Why do we need variety? It's like, because I deserve variety. I'm like, oh, hello, ego. So there's
Yeah.
like these like exploratory things that you start getting into. And for me, it was protecting myself from the pain of being in the environment. And at least if I could have an outlet, quote, quote, that I could choose a different color or pattern or what have you to express myself, then I felt better about what I was
Mm,
doing. But when I look back on it, I'm like, I didn't need all that stuff. Like,
mm,
I didn't need to buy those 10 suits or then 20 suits or, whatever it turns into. It's like, I don't, but it's as he refers to in the book, he talks about padding a cage that
mm.
you eventually meet someone who's willing once you say like, oh, it's safe in there. If you go in the cage, it's safe. And they're like, I'm going in. And you're like, what? No, no, hang on. Don't go in the cage. This is weird. This is getting weird. But it's amazing what we'll do out of fear, let's say, or we're not
Mm.
meeting uh meeting our negative Nancy's, right? At the table to say, hey,
Yeah.
okay, hang on a second. Why do I feel so compelled that I must get into a cage to protect myself from this
Yeah.
environment? Maybe it's not
Mm.
healthy. But I don't know if you had any of the similar like epiphanies or takeaways or things from his book. Was there anything else that like really helped shift your perspective outside of obviously voice hearing, which is
I
a
think
massive one? But
I think so. ADHD, right? I don't remember much, but I
you're
remember
good. You're
this
good.
particular example he gave. Like if
Yeah.
you're on a sofa watching
Yes.
TV,
Yeah.
and then someone is always commenting on the scenes, right? So literally, that voice is commenting on the scenes.
Yes.
But who
Yes.
is that really? And like, why am I talking to you? I'm trying to watch this movie by myself, that kind of thing.
Right.
Just
Right.
pretend that someone's right there. And it's so annoying. I
It.
was like, go
Uh,
away. And then I was like, whoa, so if that voice is
yeah.
just commentary, like BBC, right? Why what gives you the right to comment about my life, And then
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just snowballed from there. I'm like, okay, so technically
Yeah.
this voice has no right to
Yeah.
comment on my life. It's
Yeah.
just there. So eventually I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so I can easily just write off this voice.
Eh,
It didn't, it's just
You're like,
I was like, whoa, that's so cool. But
yeah.
like over
Yeah.
the next few days, like the fights with my ex-boss, and then I'll go
Yeah.
back to the negative talk again. But it was
Yeah.
much easier this time because after
Yeah.
listening to the stupid talk, I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, wait. Let's just listen to that audiobook this time. I listened to that book a second time just to reset. So I have to do this a few times because I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's very hard
Yeah.
for me to remember books. So
No.
yeah, it takes practice actually.
And you said the magic right there.
Mm.
Practice is the thing that it's putting it into some sort of routine, whether we think about it routine or do it routine. We normally can't just listen to an entire book and then change our entire life
Yeah.
No
I'm
revisiting.
like, wait, did he said this last time? I totally missed that.
You're like, hang on. No, but I can definitely relate, I think also to just hearing those different voices, right? Hearing those different perspectives, the commentators.
Yeah.
And bless my husband's soul. He is one, he the way he articulates this is so wonderful. But he's like, yeah, who are you meeting at the table? Like who is that being that has these comments? But then where did they come from? And for me, sitting down and like also observing, being that observer, right? Being the person at the back, just watching everything happen, I realized that a lot of the narratives that I had been telling myself were almost like a record that my mom would say. And that somehow I picked up the record and I just put it on the record player and I just kept playing it, kept playing it, kept playing it. There's that practice, right? In the wrong way, over and over. And then as you start to hear the voices though, they start to interact with the record. They weren't even
Mm,
interacting with me. And then I started to realize that they started playing like verbal ping pong with each other. And I'm like, am I tripping out? What is happening here? But it's amazing when you take a step back and you realize how many of these beings, let's say, or personalities or voices that you've also just kind of picked up along the way. And I know for me, like going through some intense bouts of domestic violence as a kid, it also, unfortunately, a lot of voices latched on,
yeah.
whether it was my voice and not being heard from my parents, let's say, or it
Mm,
was my mom's voice or my mom's other alter ego voice or my
yeah.
dad's, and then they're all kind of talking and you
Yeah.
start to, you know, start
Yeah.
to like,
So I think that's the thing, right? We're just,
yeah,
I think that voice is just accumulation of all our bad
yeah,
demons, I feel.
our baggage.
Correct, our baggage, but still,
Yeah,
this 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 being has a good
yeah,
heart. Literally,
yeah,
he is trying to do whatever he can that he knows
yeah,
to protect you, which is
yes,
why it's like this. But I mean,
yeah.
but still, because you are you, we should get rid of this baggage.
Uh, You're like buy baggage. No, but you said the magic words for me there, and that the intention, right, behind it. Normally, if you peel back the onion, you start to realize that the actual original intention. So let's say, going back to my mom's record player, the intention is to keep me safe
Yeah.
financially.
Mm.
But what played on the record maybe was relevant, I don't know, at some point, but as it kept playing over the years, it becomes less and less relevant. It becomes very distorted. And then you're like, wait a second. So it's also inviting those things to the table, right? Asking, hey, what's happening? Why am I hearing this? Where did this originate? Where did this come from? Let me understand this. Because I will say from firsthand experience, from going through reading quite a few of Michael's books, actually, funny enough, The Search for Truth, I have it right here.
You're a
Uh,
fangirl.
I am totally a fangirl. 100%. Like he is amazing. And I've listened to almost all of his podcast episodes. And but I know, but the clear thing for me, there was something about the way he speaks and it's like very logical, but then obviously he's connecting a lot of the emotional and the deeper things that we don't realize. So for me, it was almost like teasing out a lot of the things that were kind of buried deep and being
Mm.
able to kind of bring those to the surface and then allow them to heal. Because it's like, you know what? Thank you for the commentary right on the TV. I appreciate that you want to tell me all the things. But right now, I just really want to relax. So why don't you come sit next to me and we can just partake in this and you can just not say it out loud, right? You can say it in your mind. And I will support you in doing so.
Not as nice as you, girl. I'm like, off, man. This is literally what I would tell my friends. Like, you want to continue? Like, don't watch with me. I'm
You're
that.
like, get out of
Sorry.
here. Well, and it's just it's a journey. We're all on a journey. We will meet whomever they are, right, at the table one day. But allow this to at least be an invitation to even inquire, to even
Yeah.
attempt to sit in that observer seat, to listen. And because I find what's very interesting is that the rush of emotion that I feel to like, hey, what is this? Or like, why are you doing this? Or whatever, is actually feeling one of the other entities.
Mm.
That if I think
Yeah.
about me, like me, way back there, way back there in my consciousness, right? Like me way back there as the observer. I'm just kind of like, this is curious. Oh, okay. Who's this? Like, oh, you're going to say something. All right. Okay. Are you saying something? Like, oh, curious. Where we instead, if we start to associate it with it, we write it. So then all of a sudden we go from the commentary to then the anger and then the frustration and then and it's like all over the place. But I realized for myself that it was actually these different entities that have latched on to me or I've allowed them to latch and I
Yeah.
have not, helped try to heal them and get to a point
Maybe
where
I
I have a
just
little
have
less.
a yeah,
Yeah.
I just have a crazy thought. Like,
Mm,
do you think it
tell me.
is a very mild version of DID? So the disassociative, what I don't know the full name, right?
You're like, what's the
You
acronym?
you
I
have
gotta go.
many different personas in you, but
Yeah.
there's the full blown where it takes over the body, right? But
Yeah.
what if these voices are actually at the
Yeah.
start of like super mild? But you have
Yeah.
all those different voices because of all the different traumas that you had, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
they all step up to try to protect you in their own way.
Yes. Yes,
I feel
they
like
do.
I
Yes,
feel like
they
it's
do.
the very it's at the start of it. And
Yep.
we're all because it doesn't take over us, that kind of thing. I don't know, it
Yep.
could be. Who
No,
knows?
no. Well, no, I think there's validity to that because then at some point, especially if they start off as a little voice, just a little thing here and there, just like, "Ba-ba-ba-da." You're like, all right, whatever,
Like, oh, it happened to us before. Okay, let's just do this. We protect, get angry at
Yes.
them, okay?
And like
Have your
go to
horns
war.
out.
That's right. Get all your gear on. We're going. Like no, but truly, and most I find from my own experience that is absolutely what it is. All of these little beings are just trying to help and protect in the
Mm,
best way that they know how. And
yeah.
sometimes that's from a dysfunctional way, from
Mm,
my parentals as a child, and
mm,
they kinda hung out because I felt that was the only protection I had, because I
mm,
didn't have protection from my mom or my dad. But at
yeah.
least I've got this little voice that's willing to be like, "Hey, listen up here," like but then
Yeah.
over time, it's like, "Okay, let's address the original feeling of I'm not protected." Because
Yeah.
if I start to address that I'm not protected, well, then there's not a prompt for this being to come out and have to protect me,
Exactly.
unfolding.
So I
Oh, the
think it's so
layer.
important. So it's so important to address the little children in us.
Oh,
Yeah.
a
Which is
million
why I had
percent.
this smart kid with Atom. Yeah, I'm still
Hmm.
working on it. I'm just
Yes!
really tired right now. Really tired.
And doing life. Because
Yeah.
let me say this, I think as just a friendly PSA, we I thought about this, I think it was yesterday or today, that we often think like, "Oh, I need this all the time," or "I need to do this all the time," or "This has to happen all the time," or "I better do this all the time." But when we actually think about what we demand, our demands are not consistent. They're kinda all over the place. It's like, "Oh, no, I need
Mhm.
this," and then you're, like, stuck on it for 3 days, and then you find something else, and you're like, "No, no, 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 I need that." And then for 5 more days, you're like, "That's what it is." Right? It's all over the board, but we expect things to
Yeah.
be on board and consistent, but life isn't consistent because
Mm.
life kinda ebbs and flows and does things, but if we don't kinda go with the flow, this is why seriously, I'm, like, so, so happy for you in that you have the space to just flow and see where it
Yeah,
goes. Like, jump in the
I am
boat,
so blessed.
right?
Yes.
Just, "Hello, hello." Floating along
So
the
that's a
river.
good thing about being retired.
There it is.
You're like, you know what today? Yeah, that's fine. It's chill.
Right? Like, I'm good. But no, but legitimately, like, you have that ability to just flow with life and
Yeah.
see. Because I think when we fight and have rigidity and we're like, "No," and we kinda dig our heels in, we're like, "No, I wanna do this," or "This needs to stay the same," and then you're like, "No, hang on a second. Just where is this going? Maybe this is going to an even better place. Maybe it's
Mm,
evolving. Maybe it's growing.
yeah.
Maybe it's, going through its evolutions, and you're allowing those evolutions, which means there's
Yeah.
more magic."
Yeah,
So,
maybe you have to wait out this time and then you'll meet
yeah.
this person who will know this other person and then it will
Yep.
take this project even
Yep.
bigger or something.
Yep. Or
Yeah.
do something more amazing, or because you have this experience, now you can do this other thing that you never thought you could ever do that suddenly
Mhm.
lands in your lap and you're like, "Can I? Yes, I can." You're like, "Wait a
But
second, this is amazing."
yeah, so maybe after about like 3 weeks of rest, like the
Yeah,
other day I told you, right? I was sketching.
yeah.
I was just starting to sketch out the Listen Up Kid
Yeah,
spreads.
yeah,
And it's like I was watching a TV show on my iPad, and
yeah.
within 5 minutes, I sketched out all 7 spreads. And I was like, oh, it just came
Holy
out so
cow.
easily. Yeah, I'm gonna
And
draw it soon. I'm going to draw it soon.
see, okay, and let me just give a little recognition there. That is so important. We often think, well, if I'm not moving my feet, if I don't have my Flintstone feet, right? If I'm not just
Yeah.
constantly going and moving, and you're like, okay, hang
But
on, just
the guilt though, the
I
guilt
know
is like,
it's
oh my God,
real.
you're not doing anything, you're wasting
Yes.
time, you should get this
No.
out. It's like, "Rrr." I'm like, yeah, I just don't feel right though. It's like, it doesn't
It's
feel right.
it
I'm so
is
tired.
well, and it's difficult, especially when it's very ingrained in our culture. It's very
Mm,
ingrained in the world. It's very ingrained in fear. Like
yeah.
that fear, man. It just
Mm.
loves to creep in. It's like, "Knock, knock. It's me again." She's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Why
Yes.
is it you again?"
So the scary part
But
is I
yeah,
literally am not earning money from this, right? I literally am
yeah,
retired, right? But I
yeah,
still get these voices like, dude, why are you
yeah.
wasting time? Even when
Oh,
I can. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, why are you wasting time? Like,
Oh,
just use time better. And I was like,
right.
I'm like, oh my God. So
That thing that,
literally it's the same. To me it's the
it
same.
is.
Yeah.
No, and it's funny. I keep thinking about who was it who well, I think it's in the Dolores, canon stuff. So I'm doing a bunch of
Yeah.
studying, right? Just got my
Yeah.
certification, so exciting.
Yay,
Uh,
I'm so happy for you. You have to
like
do my reading.
I'm doing all these things, right? Just exploring, uncovering me and my amazing, insatiable curiosity
It's
to
so cool, the
learn
Lover's Canon. Yeah.
everything. No, it's amazing. But this has come through multiple. So I'm right now, I've read two of her books and then I'm literally reading like three more simultaneously because this is what I do. And the thing that keeps coming through these transcripts as you're reading the different, obviously, readings that she has
Mm,
is that there is this joke that we as humans have somehow tried to measure something that is not measured and is not measurable. And I'm like, what? And it's like time. Like we came up
mm,
with this concept because
mm,
I can't remember, and forgive me, I can't remember the exact metric, but there was some sort of metric of like revolutions of basically the earth and like basically how fast we're spinning.
mm,
And the revolution before, like, I think it was 2003, was like 7.5 or something, or 8 or something like that.
mm,
And then by the time like 2012 came, it was already at like 15. So instead of having 24 hours in a day, we actually have 16 hours in a day, but it looks the same because, the sun comes up and it goes down.
yeah.
And what's so funny is like, here we are, like time. So going back to your, right, these voices that are like, use your time. It's like, there is no time. Leave me be. I love you. Bye. Like, because we try to measure this thing that, I mean, imagine that if that is true, and this is always like, I gravitate towards this. Something could be true. Or what if the opposite was actually true? So for example, this cup could be, hard as a rock. But what
Mm.
if it is actually flexible? It's just the way it's literally spinning around energy wise makes it appear
So
hard.
so basically it's mass, right? And the
Yep.
vibrations. So the
Yep.
atoms will vibrate really fast to make it solid. Yeah.
Yep. So, I could sit here and argue and be like, no, this is solid. This is absolutely solid. And you're like, no, lavender. Like, this is actually not
In the molecular
like it.
view, they are all atoms.
You're like, let's break this down for you. But what's so wild, and this is something that funny enough, even going back to my corporate career, that I used to challenge hiring leaders or those that I work with, because they'd be like, no, interviews, we need to have 14 people on the interview panel. It's like, holy mackerel, 14? Like how many hours is this poor candidate going to go through? It's like, no, 14 is
Wow.
the answer. So my universal thing, and I invite everyone who's watching this, if you've gotten to this part, to ask yourself the thing that you believe more than anything in the world. 14 hours is how many hours you need to, be in there for interviewing. What if you could be right? 14 hours could be the sweet spot. You know every single thing about the candidate. You walk away just feeling great. Everyone falls in love. It's wonderful. But what if you're wrong? What if it's not 14? What if it's 13? What if it's 10? What if it's
Mhm.
2? What if there is a point of no return that no matter how more you go, you don't get anything back? But asking ourselves, like that one thing that we so believe, what if it wasn't true? Like something to consider, like curious. And I think
Mm.
we this goes back to all my bias training. Gotta love it. But going through and looking at I'm gonna find information just to make my bias true.
Uh-huh.
What if you try to do the opposite? What if you try to find information that would prove the opposite true or false?
Yeah.
We
Bias
just
training. I think all of us need that.
involuntary bias training for humans. You're like, here we go.
I
We're
mean,
gonna
that's how
learn.
we live life, right?
Like,
Because of the biasness, like because of what we went
ser-
through. I'm like, no, this hurt me before. It will hurt me again.
yep. And
Yeah.
it's gonna hurt you because it hurt me. It's like maybe, 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 but
Yeah.
maybe
This
not.
cut when it's purple, it's bad, but silver is good.
You're like, that's it. Don't buy the purple cup. It's like, what the heck? And it could be true. The purple could be terrible because whatever, but it's like just asking ourselves, just inquiring, like allow your childlike curiosity to come out. Because you never know, You never know what you can find. Go figure. But
I think it's so childlike curiosity. So
mhm.
Lizzie teach me stuff every day because of
Hmm.
her childlike wonder and that
Yeah.
they just see everything in the most positive light and they can
Yes.
strip away everything that we as adults can't see. So
It's
yeah,
so true.
childlike wonder is extremely important. It's also
Right?
one main concept that I'm trying to bring through in the book. Like
Hmm.
especially to adults, don't
Yeah.
lose your wonder.
Don't lose it. Like
Yeah.
bring it back. Because
Like
it's
don't be bleak.
literally nobody goes back to that question. We have supposedly left our childlike wonder back in, childhood because that's where it belongs and we shouldn't have it here and we're adults now and we're
Like
adulting.
whenever we get hurt, we lose a little bit of the wonder until
We do.
where we are
We
today.
we do. No, seriously.
Fun,
And
fun,
ask
wonder
yourself.
fun. Yeah.
Literally. No, but ask yourself, like, what if I just for today had a little bit more childlike wonder?
Mm.
Just for today. Just try it
Yeah.
out. Like, because you could be wrong. It could be the greatest thing ever.
Like what would
Literally.
a child see in this
Literally.
situation? Yeah.
Literally. See it from a different perspective. Or if you
Mm.
have access to a child, be like,
Like,
hey,
hey,
I
what
want
do
you
you
to look
think
at
of
this.
this?
Right?
And then she'll probably say like, but why are you thinking about it this way? And then she'll say something really simple. I was like,
Right.
you're right, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
You're like stumped and served. You're like, thank you. I needed
And then
that.
she'll be like, huh? I don't understand. Can you explain? I'm like, no, you do not need to know my version. Let's not paint you, right?
We're like, we're stopping there. Thank you. Thank you for the survey. I'll see you later. I'll see you in the kitchen. So she's like, what? What is happening? Oh my gosh. Oh,
Okay.
Billy, you were so the best. No, I thank you so much for just coming and hanging out and as always, I mean, obviously I so enjoy talking with you and just
Me
learning
too.
all the lovely things you just do and work on and see. And again, thank you to the powers that be, whoever it is, for connecting us via Substack. It's just
Yes. Oh my
like
God.
it's such a
I'm so
beautiful
thankful.
thing. No, me
Yeah.
too. And
Mm.
thank you for just sharing your wisdom and your life experience with us because believe it or not, to have, this is at least my hope in my heart is that this show becomes a place where people can listen to stories and what happens and what has happened and their experience and their firsthand stuff because it might give you a little inspiration. It might
Mm.
help you see something from a different perspective. It might challenge your belief system, but it's a good thing.
It might
Childlike
even
wonder,
it might
right?
even let them ask their kids questions that then the kids will serve them
Amen.
like hard truth, man. Hard truth.
Served on a platter. smoking hot.
So simple. You're an
And you're like,
adult.
"Oh." Like, "How did I forget this?" You're like, "I know how. It happens, it happens." No, it's so true. It is so true. So,
Yeah.
I just thank you so much for being here. Thank you for, again, just sharing your wisdom, and I will be sure to include all the lovely links if you'd love to connect with Billie, where to find her, where to find her awesome book. Coming soon. So I will make sure and share that. But any departing wisdom, Billy, anything else you want to share? You shared some great stuff.
Um,
So,
yeah, remember that this is it. This is it. So
oh,
are you going to just leave it up to your horrible boss?
oh,
Yeah.
serving it hot, girl, serving it hot. But there's so much truth to that. So thank you for bringing the truth. Thanks for
Thank you for
serving it
having
hot.
me.
Like what can I say? No, I love it. Well, thank you so much, y'all, and I really appreciate you being here. And I cannot wait to see you in the next episode. All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.